All right, good afternoon, everybody. Welcome. I hope you guys had a great morning. Hope it wasn't too crazy or hectic or anything like that. All right, let's go ahead and get started. So if you need water or anything, grab it, or if you want, if you guess you want music in the background, go ahead and grab that. But we will go ahead and get started. Let's go start on our backs today, actually. So just find a comfortable position on your back. You can just bring those feet down towards the mat. Hey, walking the feet a little bit wider. Bring those knees together to touch. Just hang out here for a couple breaths. Just let yourself relax, kind of de-stress a little bit. From here, go ahead and lift those knees up. We want those knees stacked right over the hips. Shins are parallel to the ground. We're going to bring those arms out into that field goal position, and then just bring those knees over to the right side. So maybe got a 45-degree angle with those knees. Bring it back to center and exhale it over to that left side. Bring it back to center, and then we'll go over to the right and center to the left and center. One more time each way over to the right. So maybe go a little bit further down. Try not to let those knees or shins touch. Inhale, bring it back up, and then bring it over to that left side. Same idea. Get as low as you can, keeping that right shoulder down and knees hovering, so a little core work. And then bring it back to center. Go just hug those knees in. You can give it a little rock from side to side. Now from here, we're going to interlace those fingers behind the head. We're going to get a little core work in this afternoon. So stack those knees. Again, shins are parallel. Let's extend that left leg out as we reach that left elbow to that right knee. Big twist and lift. Bring it back to center, and we'll go the other side. So that right leg is going to extend out and twist. Left elbow is going to come to that right knee. Or no, right elbow, left knee. There we go. Back to center and twist. Center and twist. Center and twist. Center and twist. All right, here we go. 10, 9, move slow. 8, try and get that heel as close to the ground as you can. Let's go. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, from there, just go ahead and lower those feet down. Arms are by your sides. Bridge those hips up. So think scooping that tailbone up, core is tight, pressing into those feet. So this might be a little bit of a stretch through these thighs, through our quads. And roll it back down. So think rolling down one vertebrae at a time. Tailbone will be the last thing that touches. And then again, press and roll it up. We got 5 of these. Good. And 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lift, hold, so tighten up through that core. Squeeze your butt, squeeze those glutes, lift. And lower it back down. Crossing that right ankle over that left thigh. Keep that tailbone down. We're gonna grab onto that left hamstring, or maybe you grab onto that shin. You just wanna feel that stretch through this right outer hip. So if you wanna hug that left leg in a little bit more, you can. And then lower that foot down. Let's just go ahead and switch sides. So crossing that left ankle over that right knee, grabbing onto that hamstring, or maybe even that shin. Go ahead and release it. And cross that leg. Now, we're going to extend both legs up to the ceiling. So flex that foot. As we press through those feet, we might even get a little stretch through those hamstrings. Those hamstrings are feeling a little bit tighter. You know, mine are feeling super tight today. All right, now low back is going to be completely flat on the mat. Arms are by your sides. Let's just go ahead and lower that left leg down. Hover that heel about an inch or two above the mat. Bring it back up, and then we'll go to the other side, lowering. And that right heel down, just a couple inches, and then bring it back up. So get over to the left, up, right, and back up. So let's go for 10, 9, just pause for a moment at the bottom. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it up, hug those knees in. Do another round of hip bridges. We're gonna make them single leg this time. So pressing into those feet, lift those hips up first, and then we're gonna extend that left leg out, then we'll do those hip lifts. So lower and back up. So 10, 9, you can roll that spine down. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Good. Other side. Press and lift. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower it down. Tee out those arms, feet about hip distance apart, and then just windshield wiper those knees side to side. Good. Bring it still. Go ahead and roll it on up so we can cross those legs. Let's just go ahead and step it back to a plank. So still working that core. Feet are going to come about hip distance apart. Let's just drop just the heels only to the right, center, to the left, center. So we got 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Bring it to center and hips up. Downward facing dog. Let's go ahead and walk those feet up to our hands into that forward fold. So slide those hands up the shins, really flatten out that back, and then we'll slide those hands back down as we fold. Let the head and the arms hang heavy. And then we'll bend into those knees, flatten out that back. Let's come all the way up to standing. Reach it up nice and tall. Let's pull those elbows down. Feel out those arms. So feel that stretch through the front of the shoulders, pinching those shoulder blades together in the back. Inhale, bring it up. Exhale, pull it down. Inhale, reach it up. And last time, draw it down. Now we'll interlace those fingers behind the back. Open up through that chest. One more breath. And let's release those arms up. We're going to bend into that left elbow. Again, grab onto that elbow with that right hand, pressing that head back into the forearm, rib cages down. And then we'll bend it to that right side. And bring it back up. Let's switch sides, bending into that right elbow. Press the head back, stay tall first. We don't want to be arching through that low back. We want to pull that rib cage down, press that forearm back into that arm. And then we'll side bend it over to that left side. And now reach those arms up and draw those elbows down. Interlace those fingers, open up through that chest. And again, we'll reach those arms up, bending into with your left elbow, pressing that head back, feeling that stretch through this back part of the arm, and then maybe even goes down into that lat, so that side body. Let's stay tall for another breath. And then go ahead and bend it over to that right side. And then bring it back up. Let's switch. Bending that right elbow. Press that head back. Ribcage tight. And then let's find that bend over to your left side. Good, and bring it back up. Reach it up nice and tall. And then exhale. Reach down for the shins, ankles, or maybe all the way down towards the ground. Hamstring stretch. And let that head hang really heavy. Maybe shaking that head, yes or no. Just feel that neck release. Just let that head feel really, really heavy. Now bend into those knees. Again, we'll flatten out that back. We're going to come up to standing and find the wall if you need help with balance. We're going to grab onto our right foot. So draw those knees together first. So again, now as I start this, to grab onto my foot, I have a pretty big arch in my back. But once I have that foot, I'm going to scoop that tailbone down. I'm going to pull that rib cage down, knees together, and then press into that foot to draw that knee back. Now, if you feel like you're hopping all over the place, try to get that balance. This one, yeah, we're working balance, but I really want to focus on this quad stretch. So go grab onto a wall. Just make it a little easier on yourself, and we'll really get that stretch through that front of the leg. And now we're releasing the foot, but we're going to cross that ankle over into that figure four and send the hips back. So same idea as what we did on the back. That right ankle is crossed over that left thigh. We're flexing that foot. Now we don't want the ankle bone. So if you notice, this is my ankle bone. It's right outside my shin. So it's this flat part kind of where the ankle and between my ankle and where my pants end is where you want to be. And just sink those hips down. Again, this is another one that if you're sitting in a chair and those hips or even your low backs get a little bit tight, just cross that ankle over and then lean over that, lean your shin, lean your chest over your shin. It might help to relieve some of that pressure. You might be feeling that back. Let's bring it back up. Let's switch sides. All right, so I'm bending into that left knee. Grab onto that foot, draw those knees together, rib cage down. That knee is pulling back. Staying really tight through that core, nice neutral spine. And maybe we can start to push that foot into the hand. Just hold it for a couple more breaths. And we'll cross that left ankle over that right thigh. Sink those hips down, flexing that foot. The lower you sit, the more that stretch will feel in that hip, keeping that back nice and flat. And then bring it back up. Go and uncross it. Reach those arms up and back, and then reach down for those toes. See if as you've done these forward folds a couple times, if those hamstrings have started to loosen up at all. A little bit more stretch through those quads. So we're going to take a big step back with that left leg. Lower that knee down, pressing those hips forward. Okay, we're going to find a really big twist. So reaching that right arm up towards the ceiling. Those hips are pressing forward and down. Now from here, okay, if just start to bend into that back knee. So maybe you're just right here, you're just lifting that foot off of the ground. Okay, or maybe you can reach back for that foot and then just hug that, pull that heel right towards that left glute, that left side. And just make sure we're not yanking it really aggressively over to one side or the other. Keeping that knee in that natural position, that natural bend. Now, one of the things here is if you're in this position, like this, it's going to feel kind of not good on your kneecap. So if this is the position you're in, I want you to release the foot. I want you to press those hips forward, and I want you to stay in this position. Okay, you're going to get a pretty good stretch through that quad as it is there. Only if you want more of a stretch and you can get their hips extended and you can be, I know I'm on my left leg, but it's this part of the leg right above the knee where those quads muscles are. That's what you want the weight to be on, not on the kneecap. Go ahead, release it down. And then lift that back leg up, holding it here. And then let's go ahead and switch sides. Let's go back to a down dog in between. So little ankle stretch, hamstring stretch, calf stretch. And we'll come to the other side. So that left foot is going to step through towards that left thumb. That back knee is lowering down. And we're pressing those hips forward. So we want that front foot far enough forward that your foot is completely down on the mat. So instead of like this, where that ankle is lifting and the foot's more like underneath your belly button, we want to walk foot forward, and then press those hips forward. Now from here, we're going to add in that twist, really reaching, opening up, and maybe just starting to bend that back knee, or maybe you can reach that hand back and actually grab onto that foot. Again, remember, we don't want to be on that kneecap. We want to be pressing those hips forward enough that we're coming onto that muscle belly right above that kneecap. A little bit longer. And if you're done with this stretch, you want to release that foot down, that's fine. And lower that foot down, okay? Just curl those toes, lifting that back knee up, holding this lunge. And then step it on back into that down dog, stretching out through those hamstrings and calves. Pressing into those palms. Press that tailbone up towards the ceiling. Press those heels down towards the mat. One more breath. And then lower onto those knees. Come into our seats. And with some neck stretches. So we're gonna start with just some circles. So we'll drop the left ear towards that left shoulder. And hold it there. I'm gonna really think about relaxing that right shoulder kind of down and back. So my shoulders are very tight. So almost like you gotta push those shoulders back to kind of get them in that right position. You don't wanna feel like there's, if you went like this, that the shoulder, head of the shoulders coming forward, you almost want it to push it so it's rotating back. So ideally you would do that with your shoulder blade in the back, but sometimes you get a little bit tight and it doesn't happen. So just relax that shoulder down and back as we drop that ear down. We just want that shoulder to be in that nice proper position when we find that stretch. And then let's bring that head back up and let's go to the other side. So drop that ear down and then, ooh, this one's even worse. Really pull that shoulder back and then soften through that, through the neck. And then lift that head up. Let's just go ahead and bring that chin to the chest. And then now we'll make those circles. So you can even bring those hands out to the side and then back a little bit. So that's gonna help open up those shoulders. Okay, so chin is to the chest. You can sweep it over to that left side. Bring that chin to the chest. Let's go over to that right side. Moving as slow as you like. One side might feel a little tighter than the other. So always have that option, just holding that stretch, that side a little bit longer. And now bring that head all the way up. One more. We're gonna reach that left arm up, bring that hand to the other side of the head. So my ring finger is right at my temple. And then I'm just gently draw that head down to my ear. So I'm not yanking my head down by any means. I'm just using my hands as a little bit more of a weight to pull that ear down. Let's gently release, bring that head up. Other side, reaching that right arm up, grabbing it on, just really gently to the head, and then just softly drawing that head down. So it's basically just like the weight itself of my hand is what's giving me the little bit extra stretch. I'm not really putting any force onto my head. A lot of teeny tiny muscles and teeny tiny, well, like your bones and your vertebrae are pretty sensitive, so we got to be careful in that stretch, but also keeping everything safe. All right, and release. Woo. Bring that head back up. Maybe looking over your shoulder. Oh, all right. Thanks, guys. It's about that time. Have a great rest of your day. It's Wednesday, so we got All Levels Yoga tonight, 4:45. So hope to see you all there. But yeah, have a good one.